Okay, today we are finishing up the 24.3 graphing cubic and square root functions with the square root functions foldable. Okay, so we're going to talk about square root functions today, and this is the last type of functions we're going to talk about before we move on to something else. It seems like we've been doing functions for a long time. Okay, all right. We have this foldable here. We are going to create a table like before. However, we are no longer using the -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 because we are going to find the vertex. Okay, it's actually probably not exactly called something else, but here's our value here. The vertex we're going to put in here is h and k. If you remember from when we've done this multiple times, we change the number inside, we leave the number outside alone. So in this situation, the number inside is underneath. This is the first piece. We change that to a negative. We leave the outside alone. We are going to put that in the first blank. And then we're going to go down. So y equals, clear this out. It is second x squared. Then you have x plus 2. You have to go over to get out of the square root. And then press plus 2 again. Then second and graph. This is going to say error if you went higher. That's why we don't start there. We start at the first one that doesn't say error. It says error because you can't have a negative square root. Okay, that's actually an imaginary number that you don't talk about till next year. -1 is 3. 0 is 3.4, we're going to say. 1 is 3.7. 2 is 4. And 3 is 4.2. Okay? Now the a value is the number in front. There is not one, so it is a 1. We're going to graph this. -2, +2. -1, 3. 0, 3.4. We're going to skip 1, 3.7. We're going to go straight to 2, 4. The only reason we graph this one is because it's the y-intercept. And then we're going to draw. Now, something that is different. It starts here. The ones below this are an error. We don't do anything else. We're done right here. We don't draw an arrow. We don't do anything else, which is going to change our behavior and domain and range a little bit, okay? Our X-intercept is none. It never crosses. So right here, it does not cross. Our y-intercept, it does cross. We don't really have to guess because we found it in the calculator. It is 0, 3.4. The end behavior, this is different. When x approaches -infinity, when x approaches +infinity. When x approaches -infinity, y is only ever going to get to this y value. This y value is 2. On the right side, it's going up forever, so it's infinity. The domain. You're going to want highlighter for this. This one is different. The domain. The domain means what x values are allowed. This starts at -2. So it is x is greater than or equal to, because it's going to the right, -2, because that is the point of the vertex. That's where that number is coming from. Okay? The range starts here at +2. At +2. So it is y is greater than or equal to, because it's going up, positive 2, and that number came from right here. Something that we're going to identify in square root is, since this is the lowest point, it is an absolute minimum. You cannot go below it. It is an absolute minimum. Okay. Once you get that opened up, we're going to do number 2 as well. Number 2. The vertex change, so 3, keep, negative 5. So 3, negative 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Y equals, by the way, if you want to, you could just go and change and put minus 3, and then go over and put minus 5 instead of clearing it all out. Second graph. So you've got errors all the way up to 3. 3, negative 5, then it's 4, negative 4. 5, negative 3.6. I'm just rounding to the 10th. 6 is negative 3.3. 7 is negative 3. 8 is negative 2.8. Do you notice I don't have any 0 for x? That means we won't even have a y-intercept this time. Right here is an error. All right, let's graph 3, negative 5, 4, negative 4. I'm only going to graph the whole number. So this one, I'm skipped to 7. 7, negative 3. A is 1. We've got the vertex. It is an absolute minimum. The X-Intercept. Since this is going up, it will cross. We have to find it. It's where y is 0. So let's go till we see over here y of 0. Might be a long time. Hang on. There it is. The X-Intercept is 28, 0. It's where it crosses. I knew it was eventually going to cross because it's pointing up. The y-intercept, since it is not pointing in this direction, it is never going to cross. The end behavior, as x goes towards negative infinity, y is going to stop at 5, negative 5. As x is going towards positive infinity, y is going to keep going towards infinity. The domain I think I switched those colors on accident, but oh well. The domain is x is greater than or equal to, because it's pointing right, 3. Did I switch them? I did, and that bothers me. Oh well. The range is y is greater than or equal to, because it's pointing up, negative 5. Pause your video, try 3, 4, and 5, and I'm just going to go through all of them real quick. Okay, number 3, the vertex. Change, leave, since it's not here, it's 0. Then negative 5, 0. Negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. Looks like we will have an x and a y-intercept because I've got a 0 and a 0. Okay, so y equals, so I'm just going to go over and change it to plus 5. So I don't have to clear everything out. And then in case you didn't know, you can press delete, and it'll get rid of that stuff. Second graph. Okay, I need it. Whoa, I got it all the way up to 0. No, to negative 5. Negative 5 is 0. Negative 4 is 1. Negative 3 is 1.4. Negative 2 is 1.7. Negative 1 is 2. And 0 is 2.2, which is going to be one of our intercepts. It's going to be the y-intercept, I'm pretty sure. Negative 5, 0. Negative 4, 1. I'm going to skip down and graph negative 1, 2. And then, like I said, this is the y-intercept, so I'm going to graph it. 0, 2.2. Okay. The A value is 1. The x-intercept it finally crosses, it is negative 5, 0. It crosses the y-axis this time at 0, 2.2. The end behavior, when x approaches negative infinity, y is going towards, it stops right here at 0. When x approaches positive infinity, so does y. By the way, this one was an absolute minimum again. The domain, when it's always going to start with x, and it's going to be this number. It is going right, so it is greater than or equal to negative 5. The range comes from this number. Y is going up, so it's greater than or equal to 0. Okay. 4 and 5. Again, if you didn't pause the video, pause the video. Okay. The vertex, negative 5, negative 3. I've already got x plus 5 in there, so I just need to go to the end and put minus 3. Second graph. So we're starting at negative 5, negative 3. Then we'll go negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. So then I've got negative 2, negative 1.6, negative 1.3, negative 1, negative 0.8, which is going to be y-intercept. Negative 5, negative 3, negative 4, negative 2. I'm going to skip down to the next whole number. Negative 1, negative 1, 0, negative 0.8. The only reason to remember I'm graphing that is because it's actually, that means it's going to cross. We're probably going to see it cross pretty soon. I just don't know where. And I'm going to look for the actual number in my graph. See if I can find it perfectly. Okay. All right. The A value is 1. This is an absolute minimum because everything's above it. The x-intercept, I'm not going to guess. I'm going to take and move around till I see a 0 over here. There it is. 4, 0. So it actually crossed at 4, even though I have it right here. So I could put a point right here and kind of change the graph. Cross that 4, 0. The y-intercept is right here. 0, negative 0.8. The end behavior, when x approaches negative infinity, y approaches, it stops at negative 3. When x approaches infinity, y is going up forever, it is positive infinity. Domain, x, it's going right, greater than or equal to negative 5. Range, y, it's going up, greater than or equal to negative 3. Now, number 5, last one. Hope you pause the video and are working on it. the vertex, -2, 4. Again, if you get confused about finding the vertex, if you just go ahead and type it in your calculator, it's the first number that doesn't say error. I need a negative. Oh, I gotta clear this whole thing out. Since I need a negative, I gotta start over. Negative, and then second, x squared, and then x plus 2. Go over, so you're out of underneath the square root, then plus 4. Second graph. Okay, and I gotta start at -2. Okay, so -2, 4, then -1, 3, then 0, 2.6, that's our y-intercept, 1, 2.3, 2, 3, and 3, 1.8. And I'll have to go find 0 in a minute if I have one. -2, 4, I'm probably not going to have one, an X-intercept. Maybe, we'll see. -1, 3, let's skip ahead to 2, 3. Actually, let's put the, let's get to the whole number. 2, 3. Is that really 3? It's 2. I can't read, guys. 2, 2. 2, 2. All right, and so it's going down this time. All right, the A value is -1. That's why it's going down. That means it is an absolute maximum this time. This is the highest it can be. The X-intercept, I don't see one. However, even though I don't see it, it's there. Because it's going down, that means it does exist, I promise. So let's see if we can find it. We're looking for when it. Okay, whoops, second graph, and I'll get back where I'm supposed to be. I'm looking for where y is 0, so we got to keep going all the way down. There we go. 14. It meets at 14, 0. 14, 0. The y-intercept is in our table. And that's 0.26. 0.2.6. I can't speak today. When x approaches negative infinity, y stops at 4, which is right here. When x approaches positive infinity, y is going down, so it's negative infinity. The domain, x is going towards the right, so it's greater than or equal to -2. The range, y, is now going down, so it is less than or equal to +4. Okay. We are going to glue this in your notebook on page 59. It's the last function, the last new function. We're still going to do some function stuff, but it's the last new function we're going to learn this year. So fold this if you haven't. Glue it on 59. Here's the title in case you did not get it yesterday. Okay, then you're going to go work on your square root homework.